For today's Flat Earth video, I'm going to showcase a particular creator and show you 3 or 4 of their videos and debunk them all rapid fire. This creator is 7club on TikTok. I made a few debunking videos on this particular creator a while ago on TikTok, and after that, he blocked me. So naturally, here we are.
I came across this study where
no, you didn't.
they cut a leaf and measured the energetic field around it, showing that it's still intact in some dimension.
The way that you can tell a flat earther is lying is if they open their mouth. Another way that you can tell that a flat earther is lying is that they don't actually give you the source to the study that they found that shows what they're saying. They just show like a weird video behind them that they don't ever actually elaborate on.
So what does this mean? Does this mean that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration? And even when a tree is cut down, does it still exist there in some dimension, in some realm? Is there still an energetic field around where it once was?
If you search the term leaf aura on YouTube, you will find hundreds of shorts and videos that show the exact same video that he has behind him, saying they've found a study from the 1970s and make the clips look like they're old and taken from the 70s, but they're all lying to you. There's a channel called Plasma Channel on YouTube that went and debunked this exact thing. In fact, they went out of their way to recreate this leaf aura in their video. And imagine that. It's this video's debunking video that this creator uses in his own video, saying, look what they've found.
So that's the baseline, and now let's cut off about 30%. If you haven't picked up on it by now, I'm trying to make a point. If you saw any of those quick phantom flashes in the previous clips, that is called a double exposure. Double exposures are a photography trick which have existed since the mid-1800s. Basically, you overlay one photo or video on top of another, give them identical composition except for the object that you want double exposed, and bam, cool looking photo or video.
He straight up just stole the footage from a video that debunked it, recreating the effect. I will link that video down in the description. He recreated it by sending electricity using a Tesla coil through the leaf, causing it to light up. And then he cut it and did it again. And then he overlaid the 2 clips on top of each other to get this effect. And it is this exact video that all of the creators that are lying and saying, we found this study, are using.
All right, so we got this thing now, a strange anomaly floating in the sky. I know some people are going to say, no, that's just a cluster of balloons up there.
This has got to be one of the most wild flat earth conspiracy videos I've ever had to debunk. It's so wild that I didn't even want to debunk this one. But I want to call attention to how these conspiracy theorists think, and that even the most mundane things become a conspiracy.
But it seems to be shape-shifting and molding around. It kind of reminds me of that other weird shape-shifting thing that was in the sky not long ago at all. And people are thinking, okay, these are just the theories going around, but people are thinking that this may be some sort of creature, like a being of some kind that can shapeshift, or even a craft of some kind that can shapeshift to look like, I don't know, mimic dinosaurs and penguins and looks like killer whales, maybe. I don't know. But it is definitely super strange. It's not like anything I've ever seen before. And you got to let me know what you think this is. Is it an alien craft?
This shape-shifting alien craft is very obviously just a set of balloons. And for no reason at all, I googled dinosaur balloons, and look what I found. And then I googled penguin balloons, and look at that! They're an exact match.
Is Venus just smaller and closer and in front of the moon right here? Or is the moon transparent and we're seeing through it to Venus?
Trick question. Neither.
This photograph was taken last week. It is Venus through the moon. Through the moon.
I hear talking points like this all the time from flat earthers. How can we see stars through the moon? We don't. This photo was taken by an unknown photographer around March 2nd or 3rd. They posted this up on Reddit and they said, oh, I can see Venus. But then they were made fun of because, no, you can't. That's not Venus. According to the Reddit post, the photo was taken in early March, but we couldn't even see Venus from Earth at that time. So no hate to the original photographer, but it's just not Venus.
I figured everyone would be covering this, so I didn't bother, but I haven't seen anyone covering it yet.
That's because there's nothing to cover. The original photographer even came out and said, you're right, it's not Venus.
Which we should never be able to see Venus anyway. It's orbiting closer to the sun, supposedly, and anytime it's night, we're on the side facing away from the sun.
This is another one of those Flat Earth lives that he doesn't want his audience to check him on. He says that we should never see Venus because it is in a closer orbit than the Earth to the sun. So when we're on nighttime, we're facing away from the sun, Venus is towards the sun. But what they never address is the time of day that we can see Venus. Venus is only ever seen early in the morning, right before or just after the sun has risen, and it's still dark enough to see Venus. What this creator really wants you to think is that we're seeing Venus at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning when we are facing directly away from the sun, but that's just not true. Venus is called the morning star for a reason. We only ever see it in the early morning.
Let's debunk the 1972 blue marble.
Let's do it. Made sure my mic was on this time.
Neil deGrasse Tyson says,
Do you realize if you took Earth with all of its mountains, valleys, and hills and shrunk it down to the size of a cue ball, it would be smoother than any cue ball ever machined.
and look at this topography. This mountain alone would be about 100 miles tall.
Again with the Flat Earth lies. He's not showing you topography here. He's showing you outlines of the continents and saying that they're mountains. He's just lying to you.
And that's just the beginning. So this is the 1972 blue marble, the only image that NASA has of this trip on their website.
That's also just a complete lie. He's just hoping that you don't go and check him on it. There are plenty of photos from the 1972 trip to the moon. In fact, if you Google March to the Moon, there's a preservation project that has scanned in thousands of photos taken by the Apollo astronauts.
And here's why. This is another photo supposedly taken on the way to the moon.
Except this particular photo was taken on the way back from the moon, which is kind of an important distinction given what he's about to say.
Now notice this big fat Terminator line here. This is the day that they set off for the moon. And notice in our solar system, the sun and the moon are pretty well aligned. If you know anything about orbital trajectory, this is how they do it. They'll leave Earth, go around, and then set their trajectory for the moon, so wherever the sun is, they'll be heading that same direction. They're not going to change their trajectory until they get to the moon. So, if they leave Earth and they're heading toward the sun the entire 3-day trip, then every time they look back at Earth, they're going to see the same light on that face of the Earth as the Earth would turn in the sunlight. So they would never experience a Terminator line in that 3-day trip.
He himself admits that this trip is going to take 3 days from the Earth to the moon. They were also there for a total of 3 days, and then another 3 days from the moon back to Earth. So that is a total of 9 days that they were off of the Earth, with 6 or 7 in between the time that they took off and the time that that photo was taken. That means from the time that they took off to the time that they landed, the moon has gone through a quarter of its phases. So if it was full when they took off, then it would be in its first quarter when they landed. Just for the record, the moon looking back at the Earth is going to see the Earth in the same phase as the Earth sees the moon in. For reference, this is that same map on the day that they landed back on the Earth.
The only way you would see this is if, when you got to the moon, you rode on the moon for like 4 days until it got around to the position where you would see a Terminator line on Earth.
That's weird. It's almost like that's exactly what happened. And that's all the videos of him that I can handle rapid fire like. I have like 7 or 8 more videos from him. If you want to see those ones, let me know in the comments below. I do also want to point out that this flat earther gets most of his information from ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Well, ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT. I asked AI to. So I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT. ChatGPT says. So I ask ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to.
You know, I thought AI was a bad idea, but the more I see, the more that's reinforced.